Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get straight to the insights that really matter for your game. Every golfer, it doesn't matter if you're scratch or a weekend hacker like me, we're all chasing the same thing, aren't we? That feeling of just pure contact, the ball just exploding off the face. More distance, yeah, but also maybe a bit more forgiveness when we inevitably miss the sweet spot. And hey, a little extra speed without feeling like you're going to swing out of your shoes, we'd all take that. It's that dream, hitting it further, straighter more often, drives everything, really.
It absolutely does. That pursuit is what pushes club design forward constantly.
And today, we're diving deep into a driver that's been, well, making some serious waves, especially for us amateur players.
Yeah.
The Cobra Aerojet. I've actually had this one in the bag for a while now. Taking it out on the course, hit buckets on the range, really tried to get a proper feel for what it actually offers, day in, day out. So our mission for you, the listener, is pretty simple. Give you the straight scoop. Our honest amateur perspective. We want to cut through all the marketing talk and tell you what we found, what surprised us, and what might actually help your game. What's it like in your hands? That's what we're getting at.
And it's fascinating, isn't it? A club like the Aerojet comes out with these big claims, unprecedented speed, distance monsters. And we get to explore how that translates, or if it translates, from the engineer's computers to, well, your actual tee shots. It really begs the question, can one club totally transform your game? Or is it more about finding that perfect match for your swing, your tendencies? We'll dig into whether the Aerojet delivers for the everyday golfer.
Yeah, that fit question is key. And for me with the Aerojet, that started the second I picked it up. The aesthetics. They really stood out. First impressions in aesthetics. So picking up the Aerojet, the very first thing I noticed was the shape. It's got this sleek, stretched out look, almost like a bullet, really long from front to back. And at address, it just looks powerful, confident, like it wants to go fast. The crown is this dark gray carbon fiber, which looks super modern, but it's got this thin, matte black edge. It's not too flashy, It just sat really nicely behind the ball for me. Square.
It's interesting. Cobra definitely toned it down a bit compared to some older models. Remember those bright colors? This is more subtle, refined almost. But then you flip it over, and those white patches on the sole, they definitely make it stand out from all the other black drivers out there. It keeps a classic profile at address, though, which psychologically can be a big plus. Confidence without being distracting.
Oh, totally. For me, that subtle look was a huge positive. Didn't scream at me, just felt right. In the alignment A, that little crown C, it's slightly off center, but it felt weirdly intuitive. Like I wasn't consciously looking at it, but my eyes just sort of naturally found the middle of the face. It's a nice touch.
Those little details add up.
Sound and feel, the pop factor. Okay, looks aside. Let's talk sound and feel, because this is where it really came alive for me. When you catch one well,
yeah.
Oh man. There's this really satisfying kind of hollow pop. It's mid-high pitch, maybe a touch louder than my old driver, but in a really good way, like an authoritative way. You can almost feel the ball just trampoline off the face.
Yeah.
Just gone. What's going on technically to create that feeling?
That's a great description, that trampolining. And yeah, that's exactly what Cobra's engineers were aiming for. It's a combination of things. You've got their AI-designed HOT face.
HOT face, right.
Yeah.
Heard that term.
Yeah, basically it means the sweet spot is designed to be bigger, more effective across more of the face. Consistent speed. Then there's the PWR bridge waiting inside, low and forward, right behind the face. That helps transfer energy efficiently. And PWR shell, that's about letting the face flex more for speed. So it's this whole system working together. It's designed to give you that sound, that feel, that feedback that says maximum energy transfer. It's about the quality of the hit.
Right, okay. And what was really interesting for me as someone who doesn't always find the dead center was the feedback on miss hits. It was super clear. Like I remember catching one high on the toe, and it was this distinct, higher-pitched, almost metallic ping. Then another time, hit it low, rushed it, and it was more of a dull thud. You instantly knew. It was like having a built-in coach telling you, nope, you missed there, which is actually really useful for figuring out your misses.
Exactly. That immediate, clear feedback is invaluable for learning and making adjustments, even mid-round.
Performance on the course distance, forgiveness, and playability. All right, so it looks good, feels powerful, but does it actually work? The big claims, right? Unprecedented speed, distance monsters. I was skeptical, honestly. But after a few range sessions, something started happening. The distance was noticeable, really noticeable. There were days I wasn't even trying to swing harder, just making my normal pass at it, and I was seeing some of the fastest average club head speeds I'd recorded. The carry numbers. Wow, huge. Is it the aerodynamics, the weight, How does it generate that seemingly effortless speed?
Well, it's a bit of both, and how they work together. While maybe not everyone sees a massive jump in raw swing speed, the Aerojet's shape is very aerodynamic, designed to cut through the air faster. But crucially, those internal technologies we talked about, the HOT face, PWR bridger, they're designed to maximize the efficiency of energy transfer. So even if your swing speed is the same, more of that energy goes into the ball, resulting in higher ball speed and often less drag. That's where those distance gains often come from, optimizing the impact physics for your swing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Great.
Because I didn't feel like I was swinging faster. And speaking of gains, my buddy, one of my regular 4-ball guys, he's been fighting for distance forever. He tried the Aerojet Max model and picked up 15 yards. Just like that. First time out. 15 yards. For an amateur, that is. That's a game changer. He was absolutely buzzing.
Oh, absolutely. 15 yards is huge. That changes which clubs you're hitting into greens, brings par 5s into reach. It's massive.
Totally. Now, forgiveness. This, for me, as a mid-handicapper, this was where the Aerojet just absolutely shone. It is incredibly forgiving. Like, shockingly so. I hit some shots that felt awful. Off the heel, off the toe, and the ball just seemed to stay in play. I remember one on 14, tight fairway, felt like I came way over the top, dead right miss, usually. But it just kind of held its line, slight fade, landed in the first cut, playable. Usually I'm reloading there. That kind of forgiveness, keeping you in the hole, that's gold for someone like me. But is there a trade-off, like for shot shaping?
That's a very smart question. And yes, there's always a balance in design. The Aerojet, especially the standard and max models, is absolutely built for stability and keeping ball speed up on off-center hits, minimizing those big misses. For the vast majority of amateurs, that's exactly what you want. Predictability. Keep it in the short grass. But yes, for a very low handicapper who really wants to precisely shape shots, hit controlled fades, and draws on command, a super forgiving driver might feel slightly less workable than a less forgiving, more specialized player's head. It's designed more for straight-line power and consistency than extreme manipulation. For most of us, that's a great trade.
Yeah, I'll take Fairway Finder any day. In terms of playability, the standard model I used gave me a nice medium-high trajectory, which is kind of what I need. Help get it up in the air with decent carry and roll. It has a neutral bias, so it wasn't trying to hook or slice on me, but I could still work it a bit if I needed to. Hit a little draw around a dog leg or try to hold one against the wind with a fade. It responded.
And that versatility is key. The standard model aims for that middle ground, good launch, controlled spin. But as you said, some players, maybe lower handicappers or those who naturally hit it high, might prefer a lower flight. Or maybe someone wants that built-in fade bias. That's exactly why Cobra offers the different models. It underlines the importance of getting fit, or at least knowing your tendencies.
Tailoring your drive models and adjustability.
Right.
And it's great they have those options. So you've got the standard Aerojet, which felt like the sweet spot for me.
Right.
Then the Aerojet Max, even more forgiving, and it has that draw bias built in. Perfect if you fight a slice. And then the Aerojet LS, the low spin model, lower launch, more fade bias, aimed at faster swingers who want to control spin and flight.
Yeah.
Having those 3 distinct heads means you can really narrow it down to what suits your game best.
Exactly. It moves beyond a one-size-fits-all approach. And then you add the adjustability. That adjustable hose hole is a really powerful tool. Your 9-degree driver, you can crank that down to 7.5 degrees or up to 10.5.
Wow, that's a big range.
It is. Lets you adapt to course conditions or even just dial in your launch angle precisely. Plus, you can usually swap out the sole weight. The standard is 12 grams, but you can get others 3, 8, 15, 16 grams. That lets you tweak swing weight or even influence the center of gravity slightly for a bit more draw or fade or lower spin. It gives you, the player, a lot of control to fine-tune it.
And for us amateurs, having those options is huge, right? Your swing might change slightly season to season, or you play a links course one week and a parkland the next. Being able to tweak loft or maybe weight, it means the club can adapt with you. Rather than you having to buy a whole new driver, it feels more versatile long-term.
Precisely. It offers a level of customization that used to be reserved only for tour pros.
The value proposition, why so accessible? Okay, let's talk value. Because this, for me, was maybe the biggest surprise with the Aerojet. How can a driver that performs this well often be found for a price that feels, well, like an absolute steal? I saw brand new ones selling for way less than other big-name premium drivers, sometimes like $200 or $300 less. That's a serious chunk of change when you're looking at golf gear. It felt almost too good to be true.
It's a really interesting point about market dynamics and brand perception. Cobra drivers consistently test incredibly well. They win awards for ball speed, for forgiveness year after year. The tech is top-notch. Yet historically, they haven't always commanded that same top-tier premium price point or held their resale value quite as strongly as maybe the big four brands. It's fascinating. You have proven performance, cutting-edge R&D, but the market positions them slightly differently, maybe less marketing spend.
Well, whatever the reason, my takeaway was this is a massive win for amateur golfers. You're getting arguably the same level of performance, maybe even better for some players, but without paying that absolute top dollar premium. It's just fantastic value. I know loads of guys who specifically wait for the previous Cobra model to drop in price when the new one comes out. They swear by it. Get amazing tech for less. It makes you question what you're really paying for, sometimes the name or the actual performance. Cobra proves you can get the performance without the huge price tag.
It's a smart way to buy equipment, focusing on performance per dollar, a savvy golfer's move.
The upgrade question, Aerojet versus LTDx and others. It's the upgrade question. If you're playing, say, the Cobra LTDx, which was also a brilliant driver, really highly rated, is the Aerojet a must-have upgrade? Honestly, for me, having hit both extensively, I wouldn't say it was a massive revolutionary leap forward from the LTDx. Both are superb clubs. Some people even prefer the look of the LTDx, and now you can get those for even better prices. The Aerojet might feel a bit different, maybe slightly faster through the air for some, but it's incremental from the LTDx, in my opinion. That's a very fair assessment, and it reflects what we often see in club releases now. Games are often incremental year over year. If you're coming from a very recent, high-performing model like the LTDx, the differences might be quite subtle, a refinement, not a revolution. And this is but if you're coming from an older driver, maybe something 5, 7, 10 years old, then yes, the Aerojet is likely to offer really substantial, noticeable improvements in speed, forgiveness, consistency. The whole package is bridging a bigger tech gap. If you're moving from like a speed zone or something even older, maybe a driver from 10 years ago, the Aerojet is going to feel like a rocket ship. It's a different world. I actually had that exact experience with the Aerojet 3-wood, compared it to my old faithful 3-wood. My eyes nearly popped out. It was instantly 10 yards longer, easy, better flight, more penetrating. It's that kind of jump you can see when upgrading from much older tech. Makes you realize what you've been missing.
That wow moment is real when the technology gap is significant.
Outro. So wrapping this up, what's the final verdict for you, the listener? From my perspective, as an amateur who got to really live with it, the Cobra Aerojet is a seriously compelling driver. It feels powerful, it delivered real distance gains for me, and crucially, that forgiveness is just fantastic. And all that comes at a price point that makes it, frankly, incredibly accessible compared to some others, whether you're a mid-handicapper needing help finding fairways and a bit more distance, or maybe even a better player looking for that reliable performance without emptying your wallet. It's definitely worth putting on your test list.
Couldn't agree more. But the key takeaway, always, is try before you buy, get one in your hands, hit it, see the numbers on a launch monitor if you can, feel how it performs for your swing.
Exactly. What worked wonders for me might feel different for you, but knowing its strengths, speed, forgiveness, value helps you know what to look for.
Right. And it leads to a bigger thought, doesn't it? In this world of expensive golf gear and huge marketing claims, the Aerojet kind of stands out. High performance often gets maybe a little overlooked compared to the biggest names. It makes you wonder how much of our perception of quality is actual performance and how much is just brand hype and marketing dollars. Perhaps the real aha moment isn't just about this specific club, but realizing that top-tier performance doesn't always have to cost a fortune. Sometimes the smartest buys are hiding in plain sight.